Welcome back. On last chapter, we talking about elastic file systems. We also looking at elastic file system infrequent with access. We also look at FSX file systems and look at the replication scenarios. So we're going to look at the second type of the storage, which is called the block storage. Elastic block storages, they have different type. First of all, they have general purpose SSD, we call GP2, and also we have GP3. The difference is they support a different requirement on the IOPS. So the first area, they support up to 16,000 IOPS per second, which is baseline performance. And for the second GP3, they support actual, which is the GP2, they support up to 3,000 IOPS. The second, which is GP3, they support up to 16,000 IOPS. So when you look at this, GP2 is just a baseline for the GP3. And GP3, which is more burst, you got much more traffic. You got much more, IOPS capabilities. So GP3, which is fit for what's called the VDI, middle-sized single-instance database such as MS SQL or Oracle. And also it's fit for the low latency interactive apps and also the boot volumes. So this is GP2 and GP3. Now let's move on to another one, which is IO1 and IO2. If you need more IOPS, let's say if you're going to have IOPS requirement, which is going to be, let's say, above 20,000, maybe 5,000, how are you going to handle that? Then you probably need IO1 and IO2. So look at the IO1 first. It can support up to 64,000 IOPS per volume, which is 4 times of the GP2 and GP3. For the IO2, it can support 256,000 IOPS per volume by enabling the block expressors. And also, it can support up to 1 GB per second throughput. By enabling the block express, it can support to 4 GB per second throughput. And the good thing is, it is consistent, have a low latency and jitter. So let's move back. If you want to have IO1, then you can have 260,000 IOPS per second of IOPS, and per second you can have 7,500 megabytes of throughput. For the IO2, you can have 160,000 IOPS and 4,750 megabytes per second. And obviously, if you're going to have IO2 block express, you can have even more IOPS. So when we look at the scenario for the SSD EBS, now move on to the HDD EBS. HDD is more cost effective compared with the SSD. Performance and IOPS and throughput isn't that great, but it's cost effective. So look at the ST1 and SC1 first. The ST1, the high HDD can start from 125 GB to 16 TB, which is much bigger. But the IOPS can only support to 500 IOPS, which is 500 megabytes per second. For SC1, you're going to have the cold HDD, which is even cheaper. But the IOPS is just 250. They support 250 megabytes per second. Now, Let's move on to the next one, which is instant store volume. Instant store volume, usually that's for the bigger IOPS, larger throughput, but occasionally and infrequent usage. Let's have a look on this first. So normally the instant store volume is located on EC2 and it's temporary. You pay for it, but you're going to have the high performance. You can the move, resize. You also can, the launch back time. In terms of IOPS, it is much bigger. In terms of throughput, it is bigger than EPS. The good thing is, now, if you compare the instant store versus elastic burst switch, the block storage, then have a look. Elastic block storage, you're going to have more persistent, you're going to have more resilience, you're going to have storage isolation, you're going to have inbuilt replications. But if you want temporary casual usage for the big IOPS, maybe for the high performance, then probably try the instant store.